a question I'm getting a lot these days from people who are either newly in larger bodies or fat bodies, maybe because they're in eating disorder recovery or because they have stopped dieting and their weight is now no longer suppressed and it's settling out, or people who have been fat for a very long time and are now working through those feelings about their bodies. This question is, how am I supposed to deal with the limitations the world is placing on me? I want to buy cool clothing. I want to go horseback riding. I want to fit on roller coasters. I want to fit comfortably in airplane seats. How am I supposed to cope with this? This is not okay. It's not fair. And the answer is that it's not okay. It's not fair. This is something that people in larger bodies experience, these limitations. But the thing is that these limitations are not the fault of our bodies. These limitations are the fault of systemic oppression, of fat oppression, of fat hatred and weight stigma. These things are not, these things are punishments for living in larger bodies, but that is not the fault of your body. That is the fault of culture and society and hundreds of years of racism and oppression. These things are meant to punish people in larger bodies so that we stay in line and we buy the diet products and we have the weight loss surgery and we do whatever is needed so that we can participate in society. But that is not the fault of your body. And it is something that we have to cope with, in the sense that these are the lives that we are experiencing in this oppressive system. But you don't have to cope with that, as far as if coping were to mean, well, my body is bad because my body doesn't fit and I can't participate in these things I want to do, so I guess that's my fault. So it's okay to get mad. It's okay to be frustrated. You get to have whatever feelings you want, because it is totally unfair. It's not okay. Fat people and larger people should be able to fit on airplanes, and we should be able to buy the same diversity of clothing and have the same access to athletic equipment as people in other sizes of bodies. Plain and simple. And this comes from oppressive systems. It's not that fat folks are less profitable to cater to. It's that weight stigma interferes with all these things. Horseback riding is a separate thing. I'll get to it in a second. But life is harder when you are in a fat body. That is not the fault of your body. I know I'm repeating this a lot, and that is because it is vital to understand. The problem is the system. The problem is not you. And these things that seem really petty, like, oh, I can't go horseback riding, or oh, I can't get on a helicopter, or oh, I can't go kayaking, or oh, I can't find a hoodie I like. Each one of these things might be minor, but they add up to a significant mental load on larger people. So when people are asking me this, I encourage them to put the blame where it actually belongs, on the system and not their own bodies. And then to process these limitations, process that grief and that frustration. There is a real grieving process that goes on when we are forced to acknowledge that we are limited by our bodies. And it's okay to feel that grief and that frustration and that anger, and to process it with a mental health provider if you need to, but these feelings are valid, and put that frustration and anger where it belongs on this system. And the thing with things like horseback riding, that's a little bit different, because the horses are not oppressing us. The horses need to be handled safely and ridden safely. But there are larger breeds of horses that can hold a much higher body weight. And so that's, it's another limitation, but it's something that you can work around by looking specifically for stables that have horses that will hold your weight. So that's a little bit different. But yeah, it's really about processing that grief